Hey tarot friends, this is our reading for May 30th and May 31st, 2020. It is for the time that the moon is in Virgo, this Gemini season 2020. So it could also be for the 29th as well, when the moon actually moved into Virgo, right? But really the messages could be for any time, so they just need to be heard around on and around the 30th and 31st, and then they could be about past or future events or what's going on right now at this time for you. So it could be different for everybody. The messages are for the collective. And the 8 of Fire, 8 of Wands reversed, is our first card out in this Virgo Moon Lunar pool for Gemini season. Two cards actually came out here, the Ace of Swords and the Two of Swords. Let's just get a few more cards. I think we can fit them in here. This is Tarot in Wonderland that I am using to get started. Queen of Fire. So it looks like something is moving slowly. We are progressing slowly, or progress has possibly halted for some of you. I see slow movement forward for a lot of the collective right now. King and Queen of Wands both on the table. The Queen is reversed though. And the Ace of Fire is here as well. So it looks like, we're moving forward very slowly. And because of that, we're going to have a decision to make in the near future and in the more distant future. Something is still not quite ready yet, or there is a false start with something. The bottom of the deck is going to be the Four of Air, Four of Swords. It's because we need a time of rest, a time of contemplation, maybe reevaluation, and a time to allow some idea to incubate. I see that we do have a new idea here, a fresh perspective, a new truth that needs shared or that you're working with or for, but the progress again is just slow. And why that leads to a fork in the road or a decision, I'm not sure. For some of you, that it is directly connected. For others, there's just a decision, a choice coming up. I suspicion that it is whether or not to hit the gas pedal and speed this project up. And it looks like a lot of you are on the path to continuing to, again, rest, meditate, contemplate some questions, maybe this specific decision in silence and in solitude. So without a lot of other opinions or any other opinions influencing that decision and that contemplation time. And yeah, again, what we see clearly that what that results in is that something, and it feels like and looks like some sort of a project that you're working on, or that's a way you could label it, whatever this is referring to in your life, whatever progress and effort this is referring to, truth this is referring to. So we'll leave it at that. This is, since it's for the collective, so as to not let this get too long. But if you would like to get more specific, of course we could do that in a personal reading, and information on that is down below. But in general, again, we see this heading toward something not being ready, something not being finished. You decide to take some more time to allow this idea to incubate. I think it's wise to remain on that path. For a lot of you, this does have to do with work that you love to do, work you love to do so much you don't notice the time passing. with the Three of Earth also showing up here for us. For others, it's the work feels more tedious. It has to do with some sort of necessary collaboration, perhaps. But those are specifics. I just said we wouldn't dig too far down into. Let's continue moving through these. We haven't looked at the root of the situation or your advice card yet, and we have not looked at what your higher mind knows when your ego is quiet, represented here in the Three of Water. So I believe what we're seeing here in the root of the situation is that there is this fiery, temperamental, feminine energy who has been the cause of progress being slow at this time, right? So that might be an energy external to you. This is somebody who's just hasn't been on your side. Someone maybe you should not have confided in, or who is trying to exercise some sort of misplaced sense of authority over you. And which is why your advice then is to be this King of Wands, to basically just show them that you have already mastered the realms that they work within, and can in fact show them something about that sort of temperamental, bossy choice, personality choice. If this is, again, if it's someone who's external to you, it may have just been somebody, maybe it's not that serious, maybe it's just somebody who's been dramatic or who has required a lot of your attention, right? Someone like this may be the reason that progress is slow, or it may be you in the root of the situation who was likely, if it's you, what we see is that you were impatient with something in this project, again, we'll say, and by trying to rush things, you may have caused progress to take even slower. You're just like, when I am rushing out the door, literally tripping over my own feet, fall, spill my purse everywhere, bruise my shins, and then I'm definitely 10, 15 minutes late for whatever I was running out the door to, right? But in some sort of much bigger sense for a lot of you, again, this is some sort of project you were working on, I think. And so I definitely think it's, again, we already said, and I believe it is true, that it's wise for you to make the choice to continue to incubate whatever new idea or perspective you have on what's happening in your life now, or specifically what you're working on, what you're worrying on, rather than continue to rush, especially if that rushing, that impatience in some sense is what has led to progress being slower than you'd like currently, right? Yeah, definitely. But in addition to that, this particular King of Fire, this guy loves new ideas. I mean, the King of Fire in general, really, right? And he is very decisive. And so if this energy that is slowing your progress, and it may have all been meant to be, it looks like, right, as usual, but still, if this energy that's slowing your progress is questioning your authority, undermining you in some way, asking you a lot of questions, taking up your time, it may be time to let them know that that's not the way that you want to move forward, that you want to keep working on things, and that you're the authority, you're the decision maker. You maybe can and maybe need to show them that here in the near future with this decision that's all yours to make. And we already said you want to be doing that in some type of a solemn situation, alone. Yeah, on your own, without anybody in your ear, certainly not this individual, if that was someone outside of you. And yes, he's very this is very much someone who would say, I'm done answering questions. That's not how I work. That's not who I am. I am someone who likes new ideas, sparks interests in new ideas, new passions, but needs others to help me work out the details. So if that is something that you, if that's a space that you maybe are in now and your progress is moving slow anyway, this might be a time to socialize and network and do just that. Again, show rather than tell someone how you work. You know, you're not meant to sit and answer all of the detailed questions. You are meant to believe in the idea and pass the idea around and gather a group of people who will be very likely expert in each area of detail that needs taken care of, that you really don't want to spend all of your time on, because, you know, if for each area to be done right, and you see that it does require attention to detail, but who then would be out networking and spreading the idea? And if that's a part that you haven't been doing, maybe that's something that needs done that would help your progress be sped up, right? Because I do see this celebration, and again, another collaboration here in your higher mind. When your ego is quiet, you may know that you need and want help in a collaboration, but not necessarily one that is only necessary, right? Which may be the kind some of you are working in now. You know, those may be the sort of connections you're dealing with. You want one that's playful. You want one that's fun. One where you truly want to celebrate with the people who are accomplishing alongside of you. Right? Not only do they believe in your idea and do they follow your lead, because that is the role that you want to play in this particular project. You want to be the leader here, but you still want to be able to be friends with and again, playful, happy, rejoiceful with those that believe in your ideas and attend to these different areas of detail that the idea requires to really flourish. Because you've got two aces, you've got two seeds. This project does need watered. We see that it's moving slowly, that it's not ready yet. Help may be exactly what some of you are going for. Different help, more to the point, may be what others of you are going for. And yeah, again, when your ego is quiet, you know you need that. So that may be saying that for some of you, you're often in a state where you don't want to admit that you need or want a playful collaboration. You may just be too focused on the fact that the one you have now is so unsatisfactory for you, or be afraid that you would have a repeat experience of that, right? But whatever it looks like specifically, again, you're wanting to be the leader here. And I think a lot of you not wanting to have to explain that is really the reason that you don't have the answers to the specific questions or detailed questions or criticisms even that are coming up about this project that you're so passionate about, or this area of your life that you're so passionate about. It may be because you need some help attending to specific things, and yeah, you don't want to call it into question that's because you are so focused on and good at sort of ruling the overall picture that you couldn't possibly continue to or be able to successfully do that at that level if you took your attention away for these areas of specific detail that anybody in your position would need help with. So yeah, I think you don't want to have to explain that. You're wanting to be able to be working with people that you can celebrate who you are with, rather than having to explain who you are. A lot of you are in that position, and some of you just need to explain some of these things. But I think we will leave it at that for this lunar pool. Again, this reading for the collective for May 30th and 31st, 2020. This is your Virgo moon and Gemini season 2020 reading. So thank you so much, as always, for all of your support to the channel. More information is down below again. And I have so much love for you. I hope some needed insight was able to reach you in this reading. and I look forward to doing another one for us very soon.